Hello, beautiful people. I hope that you had a very good week. Welcome back to the second part of the video that we had last week. Last week, we discussed about the dangers of not liking, of being dissatisfied with your job. We talked about how dangerous it can be in terms of performance at work, but also in terms of health issues that you might face if you don't like your job for quite a prolonged period of time. Today, we're going to talk about what can be done about that. If you have reached a point where you just fed up with the job, you can't take it anymore, just take a break. Take a couple days break, if possible, a couple weeks break. And if you can really take 1 or 2 months break, just take them. Take the time, cut yourself off from everything related to the job. Do other activities. Disconnect really yourself from the job and try to come back with a new perspective. If you're not in that situation where you're at the breaking point, but you feel like you still need to do something about the situation, you don't like the job or you hate the job, here's what you should do. You should do 4 things. First step, identify why you hate the job or why you don't like the job. Second thing, come up with a plan. Third thing, be bold enough to give it a try. And fourth thing, put the plan to execution. Execute the plan with discipline and boldness. Identify why you don't like the job. Many people hate their job, but most importantly, many of them sometimes don't know really why they hate the job. Because the job is such a routine. You go to the job, you come back at home, you sleep, you wake up the following day, and then you have many other things running around. And then you end up into that situation where you still hate the job, but you can't quite put a finger on what you really hate about the job. And that's problematic because if you don't know what a problem is, if you don't know why something is the way it is, it's almost impossible for you to fix it. So first, understand why you hate the job. Take some time during the day, during the week, sit down alone and try to really pinpoint what is about the job that you hate. Identify that. It's critical, it's very important. It could be that you hate the job because the boss is not a good boss. Then that might mean that you need just to move unit. You don't need to leave the company, you just need to move unit. It might be the colleagues. It might mean that you just need to change team, right? It could be the company. You love the sector, but it's just a company which is not a good company. Just leave the company then. It could be the salary. Then maybe you can go to another company which could give you a bit more. It could be the sector. You don't like the practices of the sector. You have some sector where people are very stressed out, for instance. If you don't like stress, then that would make you hate the job or dislike the job. You have other sectors where people travel a lot. You have other sectors where people are a lot in touch with customers. They need to deal with customers. Once you know why you don't like the job, the next thing that you want to do is to come up with a plan. Too many people hate their job. That's clear. Too many of them understand why they don't like the job. But very few of them have a plan to get out from the job. And that's really problematic. And it's not just about the job. In life in general, many people, you will find many people who usually know what's wrong with their life, right? But very few of them has taken the time, the energy, and the seriousness to sit down and come up with a serious plan to exit or to overcome the situation. And that's what you need to do. And that plan might mean that you might not be able to change the situation overnight. It could be a 6 months plan because we're talking about finding another job or, becoming your own boss. This is not something you do overnight. It takes time. It could be a 6 months plan. It could be a 1 year plan. It could be a few years plan. It could be something long. So that would mean for you to come up with that detailed plan so that you can identify, okay, if I need to move, what do I need? Do I need a new degree? Then how do I get that degree? Do I do it online? Do I do it, in evening classes? Do I need a new type of experience? Is it possible for me to find that experience within my current company, or can I build that experience, outside the company in my spare time? You need to figure out what you're really missing to be able to leave the current job, and then start having a plan about that. It might not be something that you can fix overnight. That means implicitly that you would need to be patient with your plan. The third thing, you need to be bold enough to give it a try. People are usually afraid, and that's part of the human nature. We are afraid of the future. We are afraid of the unknowns. We are afraid of things that we don't know. We are afraid of things that we have never seen, that we've never been part of, that we've never been into. I would like to spend a few minutes on the case of people who have actually been great achiever in their current job, in their current position. And they feel like, if I now leave this job, I have 5-10 years of experience in that job, but you know what, I still don't like the job. I feel like I could come up with a plan to go and doing what I really like. But here's the problem. I'm afraid, of starting from ground zero in the new job, because I won't maybe have any prior experience in that new job, in that new field. And B, what if I try and I fail? So you have a lot of people getting stuck, really getting stuck in their job. Think about what your job is going to be, or is for you in your life. Job is at least 8 hours per day, right? And this is for people who have like a kind of regular, okay job. For many people, job can easily be 10 hours or even 12 hours. Crazy schedule. If you think about how many time you have to spend to get ready for the job, to commute or to go through traffic to get to the job, usually this is like easily 1 to 2 hours, right? So we're talking about, even for the regular guys, another 2 hours before being at work. And then once you're done with work, after the 8 hours, you need to come back home. So this is another 1 to 2 hours. So on average, a guy can spend 12 hours doing stuff related to work. That's crazy. And 12 hours is half day. It's really half of a full day. A day has 24 hours. 12 hours is really half of that full day. So if you really think about it, and if you just forget about the weekends, and some people actually work on weekends, but even forget about the weekend, we're basically talking about the situation where you would be spending almost half of your life working before you're 65 or 70. Half of your life. From now, by the time you're 65, you will be spending that on working. And if you don't like what you do, if you don't like your job, that would mean spending half of your life in the next years to do something that you hate. That, to me, is sad. That, to me, is ridiculous. That, to me, is, sorry to say it, but it's crazy. Yes, I understand. Sometimes you might not have a choice, and I understand that. It might take time, but that's the reason why you need to have a plan. But saying that you're not going to give it a try, you're not going to put your plan to execution, just because you're afraid, and you're not afraid enough to spend half of your life doing something that you hate, to me, that doesn't make sense. So be bold enough and give it a try. And of course, you might fail. Of course, you might have to start from ground zero. But how many people have started from ground zero and have reached the top? And by the way, when you were starting in your current job, when you now have 20 years of experience, did you start from the middle? We all started at some point from ground zero. And be disciplined once you start executing the plan. If you know that you have to come up with some degree, or to build some experience, or to build some network, or to learn some new skills. Do it in a very consistent and disciplined way. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you really enjoyed it, like it, leave some comment. I love when you guys comment, so you guys should leave a comment and share it for your beloved ones and your friends. Stay bold. Trust yourself in everything that you do. Trust God. Stay blessed and see you next week. Bye.